Hey everyone, I'm Psychosap and welcome back for episode 5, the Miami GP. Now I know what you're thinking, no I do not have access to F122 Miami content like most other YouTubers, but we will be overviewing the track and after that we will be playing the first to last challenge in Texas, Circuit of the Americas. And believe me, it was an action-packed race. Now for the challenge, we will be playing at 40% AI and I have selected the Alfa Romeo of Kimi Raikkonen. It is a pretty slow car and I hope you guys enjoy the racing. Now this week I'm releasing the video before the Miami GP so that you can hear my opinions and thoughts about the brand new Miami circuit. Now let's get back to the challenge. I'm gonna set a quick quali lap, make sure I do not qualify any other position other than P20 dead last to make this fun and interesting. Make sure all the settings of the car are perfect for the race tomorrow because this is a pretty slow car and straight line speed is a very bad idea in this car. So making sure the setup is right is very important. Now of course with the 40% AI I set 2 purple sectors and just to make things interesting I go and do this. Total the car, retire and make sure we get that P20 locked in. Sorry Iceman Kimi, it's nothing personal, just a challenge. Now I'm sure you guys would agree that Valtteri is doing very well in the Iceman seat and you would have loved all those Hamilton Bottas memes that are coming up this year. So let's head to Miami. Now this is an interesting circuit, but I've heard a lot of thoughts of people saying that it is kind of like Singapore towards the end. It's quite a boring track like Abu Dhabi as well. And I wouldn't say I disagree with that because so far what I've seen from practice sessions and quali, it doesn't seem to interest me too much. So we're gonna have to see how this track goes. The end of the track, sector 3, is quite narrow. Probably 16 to 17 is the best overtaking zone. Anyway, back to the challenge. Let's go guys. And let's go then, 5 lights for my version of the Miami GP and it's lights out and away we go. A very bad start from me and that car does not have the capability of pulling away well. You can even see me sliding off trying to use the ERS to get a boost to make up for the lost time at the start. But of course the tires are not working, there is no grip at all. You can see Mazepin as well overtaking me back. I find this part of the track particularly difficult with less grip, so let's see. First move on Mick Schumacher, so Mazepin didn't manage to overtake me back, but I didn't actually expect to be only 18th position by this time in lap 1. This again is the hardest part of the track for me because it's such a long straight and this car has so less straight line speed that even with ERS I almost get overtaken back. We can see the collision between Williams and this car has a lot of grip around this corner. Going around the outside is quite easy. There's a little bit of collision there with Antonio Giovinazzi. It was a little awkward because he had a lot of space and he kind of drove into me. Exactly, that is his fault there, my corner. So let's hope he doesn't have enough damage to retire. He is my teammate after all. So it's lap 2 and we have next up Sebastian Vettel. We are up to 14th position in the first lap. Here again we have good traction around the outside and that is a good place for overtakes. Now the tires have started to work very beautifully from the second lap. The first lap was quite harsh and difficult. But here again we can go around the outside of the AlphaTauri, Yuki Tsunoda. So on average we're able to overtake about 2 to 3 cars every lap. But of course this might change as we're about to approach the end of the midfield cars. You can see if we can get across Ricardo. Going side by side down the main straight and there's a little bit of contact there again. I think I was ahead. Let's quickly go back and check the replay of that. Yeah, so it was my corner. He actually pretty much drove into me there. So that is quite good illegal overtake. Next up we have Alonso and he's actually taking quite a tight line through that corner which actually enables me to go around the outside and maintain that traction. But like I said, this car has very bad straight line speed. You can see him getting across of me and staying ahead even with the ERS. But we take a quick switcheroo action and go deep into the braking point and we are ahead. Up into the points and now we also have a purple fastest sector of the race. Similar to Daniel Ricciardo, let's see if we can get across AlphaTauri. And of course, we're reaching the end of the midfield section of cars. So I had to overshoot that braking point and go wide. So we're gonna have to try again on Gasly this time around. Let's see if we can make it stick with late braking, and we are ahead. That was a clean overtake. Let's go. Next up we have Esteban Ocon's Alpine. If we can get ahead of him, we'll be into P7. Pretty decent position after 4 laps of fighting with this weirdly unstable car. That was a horrible way to take that corner. Let's see if we can go around the outside. Of course, this car has the traction for this, and we are ahead. Now that is P7. Let's go. Next up we have Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. Now these cars are going to be quite hard to maintain and overtake position. And of course this time we do go again late into the braking point and miss it, go wide, have a little bit of contact, and then traction out of the next corner, overtake him. Next up we have Norris in the McLaren. Sparks flying on this bumpy Texas track, and we get ahead of Norris momentarily, and Norris fights back around the outside, but he doesn't quite get the traction out of the corner, and I am ahead. So now we finally get behind the Red Bulls, and I think this is P4 Max Verstappen. If we can get ahead of him, we can start challenging for the podium positions. Beautiful exit from this corner. Max actually went a little bit wide over the curbs and got a little squirmy there, but again we go around the outside and we still have good traction on these tires even after 8 laps, and we can make it stick as Max has to give up that position and he goes into the pits. Now we are not going to go into the pit lane now. The tires still feel good enough, lots of grip on these tires. See if we can get ahead of Sergio Perez. Just like his teammate, I can now try again around the outside, and this time I'm not actually fast enough, mostly because of all the ERS deployment that I have been doing in the straights to compensate with the lack of straight line speed. But we are ahead of Sergio Perez, and now let's get some fresh rubber. Of course, we're going to be losing a couple of positions. Let's see where we come out after the pit stop. Make sure we don't delay or make any mistakes on the outlap. Alright, pretty decent pit stop, around 5 seconds, and let's see, I think we are ahead of Valtteri Bottas, but behind Max and Lewis. Now we do set the fastest lap of this race, which means these tires are up to grip conditions, and let's see, Max locking up. That gives me the opportunity to go around the outside, get that traction, and Max doesn't have enough traction to hold on to that outside position, and we go through. Next up we do have Lewis Hamilton, and this is the hardest part. Of course, you can see the ERS is almost depleted. I have nothing left in my battery, and somehow, holding on by my teeth, Lewis pushes me wide to the outside of the track, but we go late into the braking point and we miss it again. This is happening a lot. We're gonna have to try this overtake again, the next and final lap 14. We're gonna make another attempt, but we have Nikita Mazepin in the way, one of the lap cars, and Lewis Hamilton goes wide trying to avoid contact with Nikita Mazepin, and that gives me the opportunity to go straight through the middle and hold on to that position, but the tires have kind of lost its grip, and I almost lost the position in the last and final corner. But let's look at that again. Lewis goes a little bit wide, a little squirmy, and he lets me go through, but of course he does fight back till the last corner, but of course he doesn't get that traction out of the final few corners, and that gives me the win. There it is, everybody, last to first challenge in my version of the Miami GP. I did try putting a few filters to make it look a little bit Miami-ish, but didn't look that good, so here we are. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the race. It was a fantastic race for me on this side of the console, but I am very excited to get my hands on the brand new Miami circuit in the F122 game, which is set to release in July. So that was episode 5. Next up we do have Barcelona 2 weeks later, so I hope you guys join me then, and of course do enjoy the Miami GP today, and let me know what you think about the brand new Miami circuit. Until then, take care, and I will see you in the next one.